taking all the blame. And it was about, I was actually victimized by responsibility for a really long time. I was like, I need to be responsible? Why do I need to be responsible, right? And kind of like commitment, it's actually a choice. Like, you get to choose to be responsible for all of it. And it doesn't look like I'm wrong and you're right. That's not what responsibility is. I now, my relationship to responsibility, if I had to sum it up in 2 words, it's the source. It's whatever's created, whatever it is, I will own all of it. Right? Do you see the difference between I'm to blame, or fine, I'll be responsible? Like, I'll own all of it. It's my responsibility, right? Like, whether it's one committee that you're a part of or another, you guys are an organization, so when one committee doesn't do well, another committee, I mean, it's just not going to be balanced. So just thinking about responsibility from a place of owning all of it and ownership. So leaders who operate in the context of responsibility declare that they are accountable for their interpretations and their behavior. Because they care mainly about the ultimate success of their projects and relationships, they're oriented to action and correction rather than explanation and self-protection. This totally goes back to the making it right rather than being it right. Missy, you said you have 5 minutes?
5 minutes.
Okay. Responsible leaders do not spend a lot of energy estimating how things got to be the way they are, right? Like I heard Stacy saying something about logistics and this, like, you know, you didn't want to talk too much about management, right? Like, that's just the way things are. I really don't know, so I'm not even going to touch upon it, but the way things are the way things are, and it's really, it doesn't really matter at the end of the day, because you guys have a job to do, and you're all leaders. So rather, instead of focusing on why are things the way they are, leaders focus on effective action. They're more concerned with having a project or relationship work than all the reasons why it will not. And this is also how they approach challenges and obstacles as something to work through. And so just notice yourself when you're focusing on all the reasons why something's not going to work, or focusing on why things got to the way they are. I like to call those possibility killers. There's absolutely no possibility when you're diagnosing and trying to correct. So ask yourself, are you a possibility killer? And it's totally fine if you are, just notice if you're doing it. I mean, you guys are perfect, it's just noticing it. So ask yourself, how are you a leader in the junior league? So I'm not just talking about what position of leadership you hold, but how do you actually demonstrate leadership? What does that look like? What does that feel like? What does that sound like? Are you a leader by empowering your team? By guiding others to accomplish amazing, powerful, great things? By being a resource for others? By being an example of the best of what the junior league is about? And what do you expect from your leaders? Do you expect the same from yourself in your leadership role? And so, looking back at your purpose and motivation, what you're committed to in life and in the junior league, do your actions as a leader demonstrate your purpose and your commitment? If not, how can you change your actions as a leader to be in alignment? And just jot that down. I'll wrap it up. Like, what do you need to do right now? And you guys all know, right? Like, you guys are the expert on your life. I actually don't know the answer. It's just really taking a hard look at yourself with a lot of compassion, of course. There's no emotional beating up here. I'm not a believer in that. Just really taking an honest look at yourself. Like, what are the things that you know that you do when you're in a leadership role, or when you're communicating with other team members, right? What's the thing that stops you from truly connecting and moving forward as a team? So we've defined our purpose and motivation for involvement, the foundation. We've gotten clarity around what we're truly committed to and what being committed means and what it looks like in action. And it's a choice. We've identified leadership, its responsibilities, and how our leadership aligns with our purpose and commitment. And so just these 4 points moving forward. As you move forward in your leadership role in the junior league or in your own life, personally, professionally, and here, keep what we've talked about in mind. And when you find it difficult to continually just get that excitement and energy, I get it, sometimes it's tough. To work on a project or go to a meeting, just ask yourself, go back to this handout, just have that conversation with yourself. Revisit your purpose, your motivation to get involved. Why am I here? What am I excited about? What's the reason for me being? Revisit the commitments you've made. Like actually list out, actually I do this in my own life, I list out all the commitments that I have in my life. Revisit if you're actively leading or just in a leadership role. Two huge things, right? Actively leading is a way of being. A leadership role is just a leadership role, which can come and go. And revisit if your purpose, your commitment, and your leadership are in alignment. And just know that when you're in alignment, you'll feel empowered and energized by the work that you're doing and the service that you're giving. It's really that simple, guys. You guys are all amazing, and I'm so happy that I had the opportunity to speak to all of you, and thank you. It was great being here.